Hello. Today I'm going to show you Cosine's Swarm mode. Swarm mode is perfect for those particularly complex long horizon tasks that you want an agent to help with. And to show you an example, I've opened my CLI and I've pointed the CLI at a repo called Mattermost. Mattermost is just an open source repo that I pulled from GitHub. It's an example enterprise codebase. And here's the prompt that I want to ask it. I want Cosine to perform a thorough security review of this repo as if it were an enterprise production codebase. I've given a fair amount of detail around the things I'd like it to look at. I've asked it to be very evidence-based. I've asked it to include a severity assessment, a confidence assessment, and to finish with an executive summary. Now, down at the bottom, you can see that I'm currently on normal mode, but if I press Shift and Tab, I can jump through to Swarm mode, hit Enter. I'm now asked if I'd like it to run in the foreground or background. I'll press 1 so it can run in the foreground, and we are up and running. And what Cosine is now doing is it is going to start spinning up sub-agents to handle different parts of this quite complex and multi-threaded problem. And the value here, particularly when it comes to security reviews of code bases, is that we now know that it's often not the case that the fundamental issue is a single vulnerability in one place, but the real risk comes when there are multiple vulnerabilities across different parts that can be threaded together to truly find an exploitation path. And so that's what we're going to use Cosine to help us uncover. Here we go. It's now created a to-do list. It's created 5 specific to-do list items, and for each of those items you will have a sub-agent. So one sub-agent is going to be focused on mapping the main attack surfaces, one will be focused on review, authorization and authentication, one focused on input validation, and so on and so forth. Above all of that, you have an orchestrator agent that helps coordinate that, set the scope of the work for each sub-agent, review it when it comes back, and then ultimately draft up the final view. Now, this would take a bit of time for this to complete because swarm modes are very complex. In practice, often they take an hour or two. And so let me jump ahead rather than letting us watch this and show you one that was made yesterday. This is exactly the same prompt on exactly the same repo, and you can see what it's done. First of all, it's completed all of those to-do list items. Those are now all finished. The sub-agents are complete. And if I scroll down, first of all, it's written an executive summary at the top. It's identified the 2 most serious issues that it's found. It's then gone into more detailed findings. So it's set out for each individual issue that it's found a severity assessment, a confidence assessment, why it matters, and also a realistic exploitation path and a recommended fix. It's done that for 7 specific issues in total. It's then also included the top 5 risks by enterprise impact, and it's also given me a leadership ready summary. Now, there was one final thing that I wanted to do before I finished. This took Cosine about an hour and a half to complete. I asked the agent, how long would this have taken a human software engineer to do instead? The answer it gave was this. It would have taken a good senior engineer about a week of work to produce something of similar depth and usefulness. A week of work compressed into an hour and a half. You can try out Swarm mode now, either in our CLI or also on our public cloud and on our desktop app.